You are now tuned into the chat room, your favorite baller's favorite podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Chatroom Podcast. I am the Senator, and this is episode number 8. And with me today, I got Joseph.
What up? What up?
We got Coach.
Dun, 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 dun.
Little inside joke.
At an undisclosed location, we got Essay.
What up? What up? This is how dedicated I am, man.
All love, man.
I don't want to hear anybody saying that I missed the most episodes ever again.
All love.
All right.
And everything.
That's love.
And from the Not So Soft Podcast, making his Chatroom Podcast debut, we got Kino the Great.
Yo.
What to do?
What up?
All
What
right.
up? What up?
I would normally want to check in with everybody, but we're just going to jump right into it. So, first question, which actor would you want to play you in the movie about your life?
I'll start, whatever. I don't know his name, but it's on my head because I just watched it the other day. Judas and the Black Messiah.
We're talking about Daniel.
Whatever his name is,
I can't remember his last name.
That dude, yeah, it's on my mind because anyone who knows me knows that like I can't hide my facial expression. So so if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. Like I can't like I'm sure you see on the podcast where like someone's talking, I'm looking crazy at the thing, you know, like that dude, like in every movie he's in, he always gives somebody like a every movie he's in. I mean, every movie. So like, I just think it would just work with he and I, you know. So that's what I'm going with.
I thought it was because of how he played in Get Out.
Nah. I mean, like, I don't even think he's a great actor. So like,
what?
Really?
I mean, he's a good actor. No, he's a good actor. Like he like in movies he's in. Like I like the movies he's in, but I wouldn't put him as my category A actors.
Really?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Hold up. So wait a second. This man has been in Get Out. This man has been in Black Panther.
Yep.
And this man played Fred Hampton. Very well.
So he was.
He played the shit out of Fred Hampton.
Huh?
He played the shit out of Fred Hampton.
Yeah, but it wasn't like he was just along for the ride. Like he was a very big star. He was a main Get Out. He was.
So you have him as a top level actor?
What's top level actor though?
What do you mean? Like do I have him as
like Denzel? That's my
no. Relax.
Denzel's been acting for like 30 years. Of course,
that's my level A though.
Okay, no. Here's a question.
That's my level A.
Those guys are legends.
Who's better, him or John David Washington?
I have John David Washington still.
better than
enough.
Or Daniel?
Yeah, I watched him throughout Ballers.
That's my only reference.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in enough.
I watched him as much as it was 2 hours of him just yelling. I watched Malcolm and Marie.
I was like,
Haven't watched that yet, so.
And it takes a certain amount of acting skills in order for 2 people to be able to carry the entire movie. To tell you the truth, like with no extra actors, like that's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Either great acting or great writing. I don't know yet, so I haven't watched it, so I can't comment on that yet. But I'm really intrigued to see how 2 hours, how you can have 2 actors for 2 hours and not like me not want to throw my TV. So I'm really interested in that.
Shout out to Zendaya for that was her first movie that she funded too.
Yeah.
So
plus Daniel's had more nuanced characters, whereas
he is.
David has only had the protagonist. I haven't seen Malcolm and Marie and Ballers where to be honest, it's not hard to play a football player.
Wait, y'all didn't see Tenet?
Yeah, I saw Tenet.
Of course.
You didn't really have to be that nuanced in it, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
To play a completely different person, a live action person, that takes nuance, right?
I mean, I'd probably go with Daniel, but I still wouldn't have him. Like, as I said, he's a good actor. Like, I'm not hating on him or anything, but I don't have him as my category A for actors.
Didn't he do that? There's that other movie he did too with They end up dying in the end. I can't remember the name of the movie.
He did.
I was like,
it sounds crazy. I know. It sounds crazy. I know, but yeah. So if you haven't seen that movie yet by now, like, yo, you got problems.
Yeah, because I saw him in something before Ballers, and that's when everybody's like,
not John David. Daniel. I'm talking about Daniel.
Yeah.
The Black Klansman.
What? No, it
John David was in Black Klansman.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, I would like to continue. I would like to continue with this conversation, but we still got a bunch of people that still need to tell me who would play them. So, Joseph, who you got?
His name is the guy that plays Franklin Sate from Snowfall. Damon. I think his name Damson Idris or something. That guy. Yeah.
I wanted to make a joke, but I'm not going to. So, Essay, who you got?
I don't want to choose the obvious. So,
who's the obvious?
I want to choose the well-known. I don't want to choose anybody like well-known. So I'll put like Lakeith Stanfield, just because I think he's able to. He's showing that he has a great range in like the new guys coming up. He was freaking hilarious in Atlanta. Either him or Donald Glover, because Donald Glover's the right amount of comedic. He can be funny, but he can also be serious, right? And he does multiple things at once, which is kind of what I do. So yeah, I'm choosing Donald Glover.
All right, Kino.
All right, okay.
I don't know, because I clearly have to pick somebody.
You don't have to. Yo, honestly, with the way Hollywood is going, you could just pick like a white person. The way Hollywood is,
pick a white guy.
This guy's gonna say Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that can work actually. Me and him have the same dry humor. Yeah, that can work. That could work actually. Yeah, that's not bad.
That's who you're gonna use?
Yeah, fuck it. Might as well. Yeah.
Might as well.
Years down the line, they're gonna think I'm a white guy anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That's true.
I was gonna say that Mexican guy is in like every gang movie.
What's his name? Yeah.
That gets typecasted.
Yeah.
In every movie, yeah.
Same name too. It's like his name's like Hector or something.
Bro, his IMDb.
Hector. I swear it's his name, bro.
This guy's IMDb is disrespectful, bro.
I swear, I swear, bro. I swear.
All right, y'all ain't ready for my own though.
Go ahead.
Obviously, it's gonna be Forrest Whitaker. We both have a lazy eye.
Oh my goodness.
Might as well.
Oh my goodness.
Completely.
All right, let me pay attention. Let's see where this episode's going.
Shit.
And for Joseph, I thought he was gonna choose a person that played Spawn. Just because if you look at his, because he's always just in the shadows, for some weird reason on the videos.
Yo, Michael J. White, nah, you're this.
Nah, but he's tough, bro.
That guy's a great martial artist. You're this.
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough. Nah.
All right. What is the worst job that you've ever had in your life?
Think that? Yo, telemarketing.
Yeah.
I would hate that shit.
Bar none. I feel like 3 different telemarketing jobs. All of them were bad.
Yeah, there's no good telemarketing.
That's what. Yeah.
There really isn't.
Mine is definitely driving Greyhound. Money was amazing, but
hated it.
The worth? No, not worth it.
The money, like you can make $100K. Money is great. Money is great, but
not worth it. Really?
All the driving, yo. Yeah, you have to love driving,
bro. Like I can go into a bunch of stories. I'll just say one thing quick. Like we were driving from Edmonton to Kamloops. So that's about 12-hour drive. And in order to get there, you have to drive through Jasper, right? So anyone who knows like Alberta, like Jasper, there's no cell service for like 2 hours, right? So you're driving through like thick forests and whatever. So basically everything going through there is one lane, non-divided highway. So like if you fall asleep, you're either driving off the road or you're driving into traffic if you fall asleep, right? Or if you see a moose, you're driving into the moose. Like it's fucked up. And all the buses don't have radio to radio back to dispatch. So the only thing you can radio to is radio into the bus. So you can say, "Oh, we're gonna hit a moose." That's it.
Wait, what?
I mean, like, so the radios don't get back to dispatch. So when I was training, my instructor was telling me, he's like last year when somebody was driving through there, and I guess they didn't pull up their the pin that attached the trailer to the bus, and the pin was dragging for like an hour, and basically sparks caught the trailer on fire.
What the hell?
Yeah, and then basically what happened, the fucked up part is that the guy, he couldn't call nobody because his cell phone is not working. There's no radio service, so he had to write a note to a driver passing by, driving to the Greyhound depot to tell the depot that the friggin' trailer caught on fire. So like it's just a bunch of shit like that. I'm like, honestly, 100K is great, but not worth it for me, man. So I pulled out.
I hear that.
100%. That sounds terrifying. 2 hours without cell. Bro, that's like Bermuda Triangle on the road,
bro.
Like,
and you have to also remember that like Edmonton to Toronto was the same route that guy beheaded the whatever eight is hard or whatever.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And he was like,
oh, the same route.
Yeah, so same route. Like it's crazy, bro. It's just I can tell way more stories, bro, but
no cell service, dude. That's crazy. No cell service
for like 2 hours. Crazy.
It almost was like every horror film.
I'm the same. That's like every horror film that you get caught up in. Like, yo,
that's
step on the side of the road.
You know you'd be the first to go as a black driver, and you can go on this route.
And the other thing is that on all those buses, like you're driving overnight, there's no other driver, there's no security, there's nothing. So like if I'm driving and somebody decides, okay, fuck this nigga, I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, there's no.
That's the end of me. So
that seems super unsafe.
And that's also part of the reason why Greyhound is no longer in Alberta or Western Canada. So Greyhound.
Essay.
I've had a lot of not so great jobs. I think the worst one that comes to mind right now is trying to get people to get credit cards at sports games. Just the lies you have to tell.
I've had that job.
You have to tell, right?
Yeah.
And mind you, you're dealing with drunk people too.
Yeah.
You're trying to get them to sign up for a credit card?
Drunk people at a sporting event. Drunk people at a sporting event. So like the testosterone is already up here. Plus
this is insane.
It's like it's a bad mix, bro.
Who decided that'd be a good
bro? Like they don't do it anymore for a reason, but when they did, it was nuts. I hated coming into work every day. Because it's like not only you have to lie, and now you're using like these t-shirts as like bait on a hook, but then when they're drunk and they realize, wait a second,
what? Credit card.
And they finally wise up.
Yep, no, I've been there. It's like, yo, that's fine for a credit card, yeah. Oh, okay. They can't do nothing now. They can't do nothing. Like, what you gonna do? Yo, it's done.
Exactly. Yo. Game's done, yo. You already signed up.
It's done.
And Joseph.
I worked at this. It was like a computer chip factory. I think it was like the summer before I started college, but it was just I had to wear like this like a lab coat and these things on your shoes to prevent the static from like shorting out the computer chips. And yeah, you would take this like little device and you'd have like a laptop. You'd place it in. You'd snap a button and it tells you if it was defective or not. And that's like all I did, bro, for like a month. Bro, it was bad. I remember I fell asleep once doing it. Like I don't know, and I didn't even realize I had I'd fallen asleep for that long until someone that worked in the back office was like, "Oh, yo, how was your nap?" And I was like, yo, what nap? I'm like, yo, it's like 10 a.m. How could I have slept? And we started at 9. He's like, yo. He's like, oh, Mr. Joseph. I'm like, yo, what? I'm like, you're thinking like he's gonna tell me something bad. He's like, yo, I saw you take a little nap, and he like told me when it happened. I was like, damn, bro.
That's not creepy at all, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I was like,
you slept for 7 minutes and 32 seconds.
Well, I got you guys beat then, because my worst job was door-to-door sales for TELUS when I moved out here, and it got to the point where I knew when the cops showed up that they were coming directly to me, because depending on the neighborhood that you're in, they would think that you're canvassing and that you're canvassing to rob the place. So I remember I was in Edmonton, and we had to be outside from 12 to 10 o'clock. And it was minus 32 degrees weather. And if you're not getting a sale, you're not getting let into anybody's home to be warmed up. And I remember I just stood up there one time. I saw the cop turn onto the same street, and I just waited for him to pull up. And I had my TELUS badge ready, and I just told them, yo, I work for this company, and this is what's happening. They're like, oh, okay, we got a call that there was some suspicious activity, and somebody was walking around like looking at the area trying to figure out which house they can rob and not. So yeah.
That's all that for a Cold War for black guy in the neighborhood.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man.
Pretty much. Representing that purple, yo. You in the Rogers neighborhood. Only blood is here.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
If you dare go to Bell side either, that's a curse.
How dare you throw that tea up? So last one. If you had a time machine and could go back in time to tell yourself something, or if you could go into the future to see something, what would you choose? Would you choose to go back in time and tell yourself a great advice, or would you go into the future to see what your future has in store?
For sure, go back in time.
Yeah, probably back in time.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'd go back in time for sure.
Nah.
Sure.
I feel like there's so much stuff I would have took that I've learned over the past like 2-3 years. Yeah. And if I was able to go back and tell myself, like, I think I'd be owning a house at this point right now, like certain things that we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those that are watching the video and just see that SA kind of disappeared, it's because SA was able to come on during his work break and just wanted to make sure he was here for a little bit. So respect to SA, respect to Mr. Pro Chatterbox, and we're gonna keep the episode going. So let's jump into the first topic. I'm very upset that he wasn't here for this first topic because we all saw Anthony Edwards dunk the shit out of that ball and create a crazy internet video with that one. It got to the point where Kevin Hart posted it.
Everyone was posting it.
Everyone was posting it.
Yep.
Now
he's lucky. He's lucky there's no fans there, man.
So what are you guys' thoughts on the dunk, and what are your thoughts on the fact that he stepped out of bounds and they didn't call out of bounds?
I didn't even know that part.
Yeah,
I've seen that too. It's going out of bounds. Well, honestly, the ref knew what was gonna happen, bro. That was a setup.
He set him up.
Yeah, it was set up.
He set him up.
Yeah,
set up. That's facts, bro. He set him up, bro. That was all facts.
I think the ref should be fined.
Black History Month, he set him up.
Yeah.
That ref should be fined, man.
No, that ref should be applauded, man. Black History Month. Trying to let a black king like succeed out here.
I mean, he shouldn't have. Listen, I know he's a big, but bro, there's sometimes I always say to people, you got to make business decisions.
Business decision, bro.
Like anyone that's played basketball, like if you're not a big and you see someone coming through the lane and you know their body of work, you have to in that moment be like, you know what? I could go for a block right now. I might get it, but if I don't, bro, it's risk reward.
Bro, like if you've seen him in college, you know he has dumb bunnies
That's what I'm saying. And he's been dunking on people this whole year.
He punches the ball through the rim. Like, it's not like a little.
That's what I'm saying.
He punches that shit. So like,
oh man,
you gotta do like, you gotta foul the hell out of him or something. But that wasn't a smart business.
Y'all hear me?
Man.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesus.
So essay, what do you think about that dunk?
I blame Baines on that one. Baines should have shot him. First of all, Baines has plenty of experience becoming a poster. He should have yelled Ricky or something.
Utah.
Listen, I've been in the exact same position. Real quick, high school game. We were playing against a team we had no business playing because we were a Richmond Hill team, and they were from, I think it was Brampton or Scarborough, one of them. Their warm-ups, everybody was dunking in their warm-ups, and we only had one guy who can dunk. Right?
Oh, shit.
So fourth quarter, we're down by like too many, and it's like down to the few seconds, and I saw the gather. I saw it come. It was me and a small forward. All right. Now with court vision and perception, I said, listen, a game's done. There's no point ending the season on a poster. So I slowed up, but then me slowing up caused a small forward to step in. And I almost wanted to say, no, don't do it. Yeah. By the time I saw this, the guy literally dunked, like literally ended his entire basketball career. Like I don't even think he can watch basketball without PTSD. And then got in his face, and the ref called a technical right at the buzzer.
Wow.
Right at the buzzer.
Oh,
Let's just say.
Nah.
I understand. I blame Baines for that one. Baines should have warned him or said something or said, nah, fam, chill. It ain't worth it, man.
Not worth it, bro. Bro, the picture where he's like this.
Yeah.
You realize halfway up that he's about to get.
Bro.
I
think he realized he's like, oh shoot, like it's probably just reflex.
The man's like this, like fucking looking like the friggin' emoji and shit.
I watched that dunk and I said, all right, I said few things. Well, the first thing I said was holy shit. And I said that out loud, and I think I went into our group chat and I posted it right away. I said holy shit in the group chat too. And then I went on Twitter because I knew Twitter would have it up already. And then I shared it to the group. But the second thing I thought was, yo, that's a 2K dunk right there. Like that's exactly.
Yeah.
And then
the way how he felt too.
NBA Jam.
Yeah. And the third thing I thought, and this might be unpopular decision, is find those refs. I'm with you, Draymond. I'm with you. The league doesn't treat us the same. It's all that's like it was
defund the refs, yo.
Yeah, defund the refs, man. Like what's happening out here? Like, man, I agree. You can't pick and choose when you want to call out of bounds. You watch the man step out of bounds, and you're like, oh well, this dunk's about to be amazing, so I ain't gonna call it. And then
some of the egregious stuff the refs do, like they should get fined for some of the agreed. Like I'm sure, like they're human, so they're gonna get some stuff wrong. Yeah. Some of the things that like cost games,
like the thing last night.
They should definitely get fined for stuff like that, bro. Definitely.
I don't care about that little report they put out there saying, "Oh, by the way, these are the mistakes we made." I don't care.
No, that means like whoever decided to do that shit, over the last 2 years, it hasn't been so bad. But before that, 5-6 years before that, Raptors were getting shit on every game.
Raptors.com, that basically was like our other homepage.
Like I don't understand what the purpose of that, because if you're not gonna friggin' change the game, like change the results of the game, why post that? And
like, it's just like, our bad. It's like we've been telling you that.
The thing is that Adam Silver has, like, it's in the agreement. He has the ability to friggin' make them play back the last whatever minutes of the game, but they never do that. They never ever do that.
Oh my god, the 2K simulator, the situation.
Yeah, they never ever do that. But like, the whole thing is just bad. Just find the ref. The whole thing is just bad, bro.
It makes it look. I feel like it makes it look worse.
Like I'm watching. Out of all the years of watching basketball, I think this year has been some of the most ridiculous stuff when it comes to the refs. And the reason why I think that is, and I was listening to one of the commentators, I forgot what game I was watching, and they were saying that a lot of the days they have like 6 or 7 games on, and then other days they'll have like 10 games on, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is they can't have the better refs, like the more experienced refs, in all of those games. So they have like these young refs that aren't properly trained in NBA stuff that are reffing some of these games. So what happens is the ones that are more televised gets the more experienced refs. Then the ones that aren't nationally televised and stuff like that, they get like the lower refs. So refs have had a few of those games where it has been the lower ref, and that's why like I understand when people say rap fans are arguing with the refs, because it's a proven fact that there's so many times where the refs, like Coach said, the 2 minute the 2 minute stuff. It used to be like all raps, and then so obviously like in close games, it was the refs a lot of times that determined if we won or lost, because they were getting a lot of foul calls to the other team. Like it's just
5 on 8.
It was just insane. Like this, like I've seen some technicals this year on the refs, and I was like, I don't even understand like I've seen a technical where the person was walking away and said something, and they get teed up, and then the next play, the other team, the guy's jumping in the ref's face, and he's like, all right, just calm down. Just you're okay. Like,
because we're a Canadian team, man. That's why. Even though most of the players are American, it's like we're an outsider, right? We are the Negroes of the NBA. We're the Negro team. We're the Negro League team. That's what we are.
They said you got one with Kawhi, so just be happy with that. Don't
business, guys.
He's like we allowed you to get one. When's the last time you seen the Knicks get one? All right, so be happy with the crumbs, and you'll be okay.
Hey, just nice it.
Be happy with the crumbs.
That's
man, yo. Free the raps, yo. Free the raps.
As an Asian, how did you feel when that happened? Did you say like, nah, I ain't gonna play ball again?
No, I made first and foremost. I made that conscious decision a long time ago when I stopped growing. When I stopped growing, that was pretty much when I was like, yeah, nah, this is it. I was like, nah. And I seen everybody else in high school kind of growing more and more taller than me. I was like, nah, that's it. I'm done. That was my hoop dream. That's
not my lane.
Yeah, it's not my lane. It's not my lane. Like, no, I tried playing with tall people. I was like, nah. I played pickup with tall people. I was like, nah, I'm cool, man. I get my shot blocked. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Nah, I'm not doing that. No, I'm good.
Just like doing doing wind sprints on the court. Just all right.
Yeah.
I'll pass the ball here.
Basically doing it. Yeah, I'm running around doing cardio for 30 minutes. The fuck am I doing? I'm doing cardio for 30 minutes. What the fuck I look like? I can do that on a treadmill. I'm good.
And last thing I want to say,
no girls around.
Last thing I want to say on this is, shout out to Daniel, because when I saw that dunk on, it just makes me think of Daniel Mullings just dunking in the gym. Like, for those that's never seen Daniel play, man, like I remember playing at Boys and Girls Club with this guy, and he was just dunking on people left, right, and center, like off of alleys, people thinking that they can tip the ball away, and he catches it and just dunks over it. Like so shout out Daniel, who's still out there doing his thing.
Yeah. And shout out Raps for being over 500.
Yeah.
We fought our way back.
With a couple big wins. With a couple big wins still. So let's get to Draymond Green.
Yes.
Draymond Green. We've all heard his comments. We've all heard the situation.
I'll call you back. 1 second. Yeah. All right, gotta go.
That's cool. All right, yo.
Easy. All right, let's get to Draymond Green. So we've all heard his comments. We've all heard the reactions about his comments in the league. And we've also saw him get ejected from the game against the Hornets. Now, what are you guys' thoughts on his comments, and what did you think about that ejection?
I mean, I'll start. His comments, I think his comments were 100% accurate. They're accurate comments, but in the same breath, you got it. Like everything in life, there's a hierarchy to it, right? So like the king gets treated differently from the peasants. So that's how it is. The owners are gonna get different treatment from the players. So this is part of life. That's what it is. But I get what he's saying. Like the owners are able to kind of say, okay, this person's getting traded. Boom, you can sit out, and there's no fines. There's no nothing. There's no bad talk towards it because that's just part of the job. But then if a player goes out and says, "Oh, I want to get traded," we're not going to use James Harden because James Harden was an asshole. He was a dick. He did everything the wrong way. But like a man like AD, like when AD was getting traded, he was playing. Like, and then it's just the team kind of sat him down and said, "Okay, you're not going to play." So it's not like he was wearing out there not playing.
Yeah,
I mean, but he was still getting shit on, you know. So like, it's a slippery slope. I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, it's a business. So that's why when I always talk about guys like Bradley Beal or CJ McCollum or guys who are out there busting their ass, Dame Lillard, and the organization not putting them in places to win, get out, man. It's about you. So Bradley Beal should definitely come to the Lakers.
I'm saying.
That was a sales pitch. That was a sales pitch.
That's what I'm saying. That's a sales pitch.
Okay.
That's a pitch right there. Come on down to death row. Let's go.
That's
shit, man. Damn it.
No one.
Yeah, if you want LeBron dancing all in your videos, just
come on down death row.
Come on down, man.
Kino, what do you think of Draymond's comments, or what do you think about that ejection from the game?
I didn't really see what happened to the ejection. I just heard it was bogus. So I'll comment on his comments, and the same thing Coach said. I'm like, yo, it's absolutely 100% correct. He is absolutely correct about what he said. There's absolutely double standard. Problem is, with that being said, the game is the game.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all kind of signed up for this.
Yeah.
Not saying it's not wrong. Not saying it's wrong and that's not wrong, but yeah, y'all like this kind of comes with it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I don't think you can change that because owners are like worth billions of dollars.
I mean, you can't control what people are gonna say about you, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, that's really all he's saying is like, yo, like y'all gotta look at us, like you guys gotta consider both sides. And I mean, some people just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. That's fact.
You know, that's true. Joe.
In terms of the comments, I 100% agree with what we're all basically saying about there's a double standard. And I feel like he's the poster boy for, it used to be DeMarcus Cousins, but I feel like over the past years, especially during G State's title runs, I feel like he's become the poster boy for
sure.
Like
everything bad.
Yeah, like bad players in terms of attitude towards refs. Because that ejection,
it was awful.
Come on, man.
Before it was Ron Artest, Steven Jackson, like Matt Barnes, like those kind of guys. Before it was them, but come on, like I get, like as a coach and a player, like I get giving him the one tech.
Yeah,
you know that tech is like, yo, shut up.
Exactly.
Just go over there, shut up. But to give him another tech to then basically decide the game, because it didn't make them lose the game, but it didn't it took the win from them basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it took the win from them. So like giving them 2 free throws and then basically letting them lose it, like I don't know, that was egregious to me. The one tech was warranted because the dude he was wilding, like. He probably said something they shouldn't have said. The one tech, whatever.
Yeah.
I have no problems with the one tech, but the second tech.
I was watching a video on the weekend, and it just made me laugh because it was just funny because it plays into what happened with this one here. And I was watching a video of the most ridiculous technicals called on a player. It's on YouTube. They have a compilation of like 10 videos of ridiculous techs. And the one that made me laugh the most was Tim Duncan got a technical for laughing on the bench.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And got kicked out the game.
I've gone that tech as an assistant coach on the bench before, but I told the ref that he was a bitch. So like warranted, but like
No, but the Tim Duncan one, he was just laughing though. He didn't say nothing. He laughed, and then the ref gave him a tech. So like, it's not like
he ain't saying nothing too.
He didn't say nothing.
He didn't say nothing. He just
he just laughing to a joke that happened on the side. Like, he wasn't worried about the ref.
Like so right now, Draymond Green is getting the Rasheed Wallace treatment.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And it doesn't help because he makes statements. So the refs, it just gives refs the reasons to do it. And so I agree with everything that everybody already said in here about his comments. I think his comments were true. But at the same time, you have to understand that as a player, you don't have that power that the owners do, right? Yeah. So whatever stuff that they decide they want to do, they can do. And as a player, it might suck. Like, that situation was crazy with Andre Drummond because he was dressed up ready to go, and then they told him like, "Hey, we're pulling you," and he came back out in street clothes. Like, that's crazy, but we know that's what's happened. Like,
the part that's fucked up, that I get what Draymond's saying, is that if Andre Drummond was to come out and say something about that, if he was to say, "Oh, I don't like how the team is handling me," whatever the case is, he would be labeled as a bad teammate or a bad player or like an unruly player. Yeah. And that's kind of foul. That's like, it's kind of a stretch to go to this route, but it's kind of like that shut up and dribble whole mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a push to go there, it's a push, but like you can draw the same conclusions, you know what I mean? So like,
oh yeah.
All right, so let's move on. So we got the first half of the NBA season is almost here, and we already know what's happening. March 7th, we got. If we can't find Kino during that week, we know where he's gonna be because he's the only man to be able to make it to the States and still come back. So
ATL, shouty.
So out of the first half so far, or first little bit that we've seen so far, what has been some of the biggest surprises for you?
My biggest surprise so far is Utah. I'm shocked at Utah. Like, I knew Bogdanovich coming back was going to be like good for them, but like, they're the best team in the NBA, and they're beating all the good teams. Like, it's not even like they have a cakewalk schedule. They're beating Brooklyn. They're beating Clippers. They haven't played Lakers yet. But I'm sure with no AD, they're gonna beat Lakers too. So like, they're beating all the good teams. So like, that has me shocked. Like, I didn't expect that. Everything else kind of going, like, I knew Lakers were kind of close this year. I didn't know Brooklyn wasn't gonna get James Harden, obviously. So whatever. But everything else kind of playing the part. But the biggest shock to me is definitely Utah, bro. Definitely. They got like 5 losses, bro. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's nutty, bro. That's nutty.
Not really a shock, but more a surprise. Like a pleasant surprise. Like, LeVar Ball was not lying. Like, LaMelo is legit.
Mm-hmm.
And going on that, I will just say, give him his props.
No, for sure.
Give him his flowers.
Oh yeah, of course.
For sure.
Yo, he had 2 out of his 3. At one point, he had all 3 of them in the league.
Yeah. All 3 of them. Yep.
At one point,
made the league at one point. So I mean,
all 3 of them in the league. It just sucks that Jello is absolute dog shit. It just sucks that that's what it is. But like, he had all 3 of them in the league. So give him his flowers.
Do much more. Yeah.
Joe.
Besides LaMelo, which I'm surprised and not surprised, I want to say I'm surprised that Brooklyn is meshing as fast as they're meshing together. Like in James Harden, KD when he is able to play.
I'm not, because the whole thing with that is that we know that 2 superstars can coincide.
Yeah.
Right? But we haven't seen all 3 of them together.
That too.
Really, right? So like, I'm like I know if...
They haven't played the game together?
I think they played maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah,
maybe 1 or 2. But like, if Harden and KD are there and they have others, it's gonna work. Like it's gonna work because you know who the hierarchy is. If KD and Kyrie is there, it's gonna work. You know what the hierarchy is. If Harden and Kyrie is going to work because you know what it is. But like if you have all three of those guys there, that's where the problem comes into because now you got because Kyrie's not going to get 25 shots.
That too,
right? So it's not. So now it's like
he did the first two times when they played,
but then Harden only had like 10 shots, and then they lost one of those games I think to like a shit team. So
they did.
So that's not going to work. Like I think the real test is going to come second half of the year when they're all playing together because then we're going to see if guys like TLC can make shots under pressure when it matters because TLC is only going to get like 3 shots a game. Joe Harris, even though he's shooting the shit of the ball, he's friggin' lights. He killed my team. He had like hit a back three. Yeah, I wasn't even surprised. I'm like, shit, he's hard as hell. I'm not even surprised. But like, I want to see what he's going to do when he only gets 6-7 shots a game, not 15 shots a game, right? So like that's where we're gonna come into. But yeah,
especially come playoff time, we're gonna start seeing that ISO ball really kick in.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm like, okay, if they can still play this way, but just with defense, they have no defense.
You're asking for a lot there.
Yeah, like they look like they're sharing the ball. So
if Brooklyn, I think Lakers are gonna win this year. They're gonna win everything. I think they're gonna maybe lose 3 games in playoffs max. But if Brooklyn can go out and get Andre Drummond, he's the one player that I think Brooklyn can go get. They don't have enough draft picks, but they're gonna have to get rid of somebody. They're gonna have to get rid of like I don't know, maybe like I don't know who they can get rid of, but they're gonna have to get rid of somebody to bring him on.
But I think they already messed that up though, to tell you the truth, because.
Why?
I think they should have done it in the trade. I think that if they weren't able to get him in the trade, they're not getting him now. And
they might be able to get him if it's just because they might buy him out. Yeah, so that might be an option.
Yeah,
maybe because they can sign him with the mid-level exception. But he's the one player that I think they can get that legitimately puts them as a threat to Lakers. Yeah. He's the one player. Because Lakers' problem is. Don't fuck around and let Lakers get Drummond for a buyout.
Listen. No.
Don't do that.
Good night. Good night.
Don't fuck around and do that. You know, he's the one player that as we're seeing JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, we're really missing him.
Yeah.
That side. So
that's what we're missing this past couple games. You can see it. There's no big man in there, like everybody's cutting in.
Yeah.
Size. Mm-hmm.
So my biggest surprise of the first half is obviously, and I think that this goes without saying, Julius Randle.
Wait, it's been great.
Because he is hooping. He is hooping out here. So he is not saying that he was never hooping before, but to this level,
not like this.
He's like leading his team.
But do you think he's a product of his environment though? Because Knicks are just dog shit.
Contract year.
They're not terrible. They play defense, man.
They're actually good this year. They're actually
one thing about Thibodeau,
they work hard.
They'll play
everything you can out of this place.
Yeah.
I'll agree. They work hard.
Yeah.
You think he's an all-star?
Definitely.
Reserve.
Definitely. Yeah. If there's in the East, to me, because I was looking at his numbers the other day, like he's top 10 in pretty much like
points,
rebounds. Mm-hmm. He's up there for assists. Not like he's not top 10, but he's up there in assists. But
he's always been that though. Like even you look at when he was on Lakers,
not like this though. Like this is
not this high, but when he was on Lakers, he was like top 5 in what's the side? He was like top 5 in like double doubles.
Oh yeah.
On Lakers,
he can play,
like,
man.
He can play. So like, I'm not surprised at his ability, but I'm surprised at the volume of which he had a game the other day where he was like 23 and 20. I was like,
yeah, man, nasty.
I think what they recognize, and this is not a knock at any player on the Knicks, but I think they realize that honestly, for them to win games, it has to be Randall and then everybody else.
RJ's not it.
It wasn't. It will. I think last year the coach wanted it to be RJ.
Yeah.
And then the team. I think
that's the hype. Yeah.
Thibodeau understands who is the best player on that team, and and their best player is Julius Randle.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Hands down.
That's true.
That's
true.
I would say, you think them trading for Derrick Rose was a mistake?
No.
I think that leadership will help RJ.
Yeah.
Bro, I like that rookie, bro. He's nice.
Oh, quickly.
Bro.
Yeah, quickly. No, they need to play him more. They need to play
sick,
him
man.
Nice, bro. Like
they need to play more.
They got something going on over there. If they can just keep that team together and
and just get rid of the owner. Get rid of the owner.
Yes, that's the
never happening. That guy makes too much money.
Get rid of James Dolan somehow.
Yeah.
The day when you see James Dolan gone is the day that Dolan gone is the day when you see Jerry Jones say that he's not the GM of the Cowboys. Like that's not happening. So, all right, let's get into something. The next thing, better performance. Freddie V's 50-point game. Steph Curry's 60-point game. Luka's 36, 16, and 15-point game. Jamal Murray's 50-point game or Joel Embiid's 50, 17 game.
I'm going to say Freddie just because I expect most of those guys to do those numbers.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like Steph can get hot. And honestly, it's just him, really. So, yeah, he'll have to do those for them to win.
Yeah.
Luka, same thing. We've seen him. Like, we know what he's capable of. Joel, honestly, if he's healthy, he is going to be the reason they get deep in the playoffs.
That's his only question. That's the only question. That's the only.
He has no real competition.
Yeah.
He has no real competition in his position.
Period. Yeah. But it's just if he's healthy or he's not healthy.
That's the problem. And that's the problem. But yeah, no. Fred did it efficiently. Fucking gave me like 80 fantasy points that night. That was fucking pathetic. He was like one or two players I had playing that night. I had to play KD. I was like, oh no, I'm like I won that night. Freddie gets my props for that.
Me personally, I gotta go Jamal Murray, the blue arrow. I got to because this dude had 50 and he missed 4 shots all night.
Yeah.
Okay, that's hard.
80% shooting, got 50. Like,
did he not take a free throw? Is it that game?
Free throws.
Yeah,
okay. Free throws, bro.
That was him?
Zero
bro.
free throws.
Oh, shit.
And he missed so much all night, bro. That's
that's a wild stat. That's a wild stat.
Yo, that's crazy. Like,
that
took 0 free throws and missed 4 shots. He shot 85% from the 21 to 25. Bro, what?
No, that's a wild
bro, that's ridiculous. Like, that's like playing on 2K, my team.
Yeah,
on easy mode.
On rookie.
and your my player is already 99.
Yeah,
you just play for fun.
You're just missing on purpose at that point.
Yeah,
I can't do 100. I can't get 100. Too much.
Like what, bro? Like when I seen that, I'm like, there's no way. There's not no way. And I looked it up. I'm like, the only player ever to ever do that.
Yeah,
gotta go there still for me personally.
Joe,
I'm probably gonna go with Van Fleet because that is very unusual for my man's Van Fleet to play like that. He plays well, but like the way he was scoring,
I was like 11 threes that game, no?
Yeah, like it's like we've seen him play well in the playoffs, like after he had his kid, and he was just going crazy. But this was like that, like on another level, and I was like, okay. And it was efficient. He wasn't really. I like that he wasn't like hunting for like buckets. You know, they were kind of just coming to him. He's like transition layups, stuff like that. Yeah.
No, that's what makes him really valuable as a player because, like, unlike like Kobe, like Kobe, he's looking for his shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even KD, even though he's turned into an efficient player, he's looking for a shot. Kyrie looking for a shot. Van Vliet is a player who just lets the game come to him, and that's what's very surprising about how he plays because he plays in the rhythm of the game. He doesn't force a lot of shots. Only shot I seen him force was that Game 7 shot versus Boston. That's the only shot I seen him force. But other than that, he's been really stable as a guard.
I won't say that I'm surprised, but for me, I think the better performance and I agree with all you guys, but I'm going to go with Steph on this one. And the only reason why I'm going to go with Steph is because of all the talking that was happening between him and Dame before. So for that to be the first game, and you come out and you just drop 62, it's just making it. It was like he took it in a way where he was like, he was hearing all the talk that Lillard was the best shooter in the game. And he just said, all right, if that's the case, I'm going to wait for Portland. I'm going to do a showcase right now. Like, even the last three that he took in order to get it to get him to over 60, like, on a normal person taking that shot, that's like an air ball or a miss. And like, because he wasn't set at all. He was like leaning forward. Like, it was just a wild shot. So I'm gonna go with Steph just because of the conversation that was happening between him and Dame before that, right?
The one thing why I couldn't pick that one was because, like, I watched the game and I felt like the whole game his team was playing into that narrative. So like, it wasn't like, oh, Steph, like okay, Steph is doing this shit out of spite. It was like, okay, no, the team is behind Steph and they're helping him get to this out of spite. Even the last three you talked about, like, only one person passed half court. Everyone, like, he passed, like, I think it was like Draymond or
no, they were all back, but Draymond passed it back to him. I'm telling you.
I'm like, he put his hand up, like the team was like, it's like when you're in high school or you're in whatever, you're playing a team, and that one player who never fucking plays the game comes in the game and you want to give him a bucket. It was like that kind of game. They're just giving the ball and like they're just feeding the ball, and like, mind you, like, Steph's making the shots, so no hate on Steph, he's making the shots, but like, I don't think that was like a game. But for me personally, I was in a game where I was like, oh shit, this is a great performance. It was like, okay, he's taking it personal, but it's Steph. You know what I mean? Like, if you're getting those shots and you feel the energy of your team, you're gonna make those shots. So
I'm about the storyline. So the storyline is what I'm looking for. Like, the Fred, he said, like, of course I'm gonna make these shots. I'm open, right? Like, Joel, we've been waiting for Joel to do this for a while. Like, a 50-point game, we've been waiting for the 50-point game for a while.
Like, the one thing to him is just do it consistently. Like, every year he has a game where he's like, damn, every year.
Yeah, and then the Raps shut him down. So
big ugly crocodile tears.
Before we end off, this isn't on the list, but I just wanted to bring back a good old segment that we haven't been on for a while. So, player spotlight. And this player spotlight today is Patrick Beverley. So for those that did not see the game last night, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 of 6 shooting, and 6 fouls and 4 turnovers. Bro. So if you're looking at it, if you want to do the math, it was for every shot he took a foul.
Yo, listen, man, that man is playing in the Black Air Force circuit.
That's what I'm saying,
bro.
Like, he
is like Joseph if he was playing ball. Like, he's like a New York nigga. Like, he's only dude that seen to go to the beach and wear Timbs.
Yo, I mean, listen,
he's wearing Timbs.
Him and Marshawn Lynch.
Who wears Timbs to the beach, bro?
Marshawn.
It's Marshawn Lynch.
Well, Marshawn is a legend.
Exactly.
He's a legend.
Yo, them Timbs didn't help, man. The Timbs didn't help at all. He thought it would help. No, they didn't help.
I'm gonna say this, and two of y'all, I mean, all y'all might know him, but y'all know Kino, right?
Of course.
Right? Yo, does Beverly look like Kino to you?
Stop this immediately. Yo, I said it there. Just
we've already talked about who he looks like.
I'm adding that to the list. Thank you. I'm adding that to the list. Oh, because if you know the list I got right now.
We already have the NBA players that Nino looks like. So
yeah. Oh my God! Now you enter the.
All right, you see, cool. This is why podcast starts beefing, right? Because I'm not involved. I'm trying to keep the peace between everybody.
I'm just ask the question. But back to Beverly though.
So, what do you guys think of his all-star performance?
Oh my God. It's typical Beverly sweaty behavior, bro. That's just what he like. Even though the foul didn't look that hard on James Harden last night, like the transition foul, bro, why are you playing like that? Like
he's playing prison ball, bro.
This is what I'm saying, and I'm like, it comes to the point where I'm like, okay, you did all this training, like you guys were talking about. Tim's in the sand, like the gloves on, you're in the heat for what? Like I don't understand. You're training like a super soldier, but you're still playing defense like a scrub. Like he looks like he plays defense like he just got his arms from the factory and he's just there like testing out everything.
Testing his arms out, bro.
Do you remember when they used to say like N1 players wouldn't be able to like transition to the league? Like, did they not tell Patrick Beverly he wasn't in N1 either? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, for him to think that he's one of the best defenders in the league, you can't have a game like that.
Listen, man. I have two things to say about this. First and foremost, Patrick Beverly, to quote the great Russell Westbrook, Patrick Beverly fooled y'all, man. That's one. And two, if Patrick Beverly was white, they would call him Scrappy. I would just like to point that out.
Coach's son, gym rat.
Gym rat. Definitely a gym rat. Scrappy individual. Works hustle hard.
He is a hard
worker in the gym. Yeah, hard worker. He's in the first one in the gym, last one out. Yeah, that's all that shit. That's all I want to say.
Oh, fuck.
That's all I want to say. Right. I say that to say, I mean this with love. Patrick, you play defense like I do. You try hard. I just probably wouldn't take some of his knees out. That's all.
But all right, so I'm gonna end my take on something positive. No, I can't still.
I was like really trying. He's like, nah, I can't.
He's searching his mind. Nah, fuck that guy.
I will end that on a positive note. Now, you may not that player. The reason why we're doing this player spotlight is because we want you to play a little bit better. But the one thing I will say is you got more money than me, so I'm going to stop talking about you. All right, so.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
So we reached a part of the podcast where we get to promote our social medias and anything else that we're working on. So, Kino, you're our guest, so you can kick it off.
Let's kick it off? All right. So, yeah, just follow me. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, Kino TG on both accounts. I have nothing else. I mean, follow me. I might say something crazy. I might say something funny. Depends what day you catch me on.
Depends what day.
Right. Yo, Joe.
You can catch me and Sean on the podcast, Talks with the Chatterbox. Every other week, I want to say episodes have been coming out more frequently. You can check us out on the website, chattertalks.tv. And yeah, that's it.
Dope. Coach.
That's tough. I would say we got 3 podcasts on here. We got a chat room, we got Chatter Talks, and we got freaking Not So Soft. So this is all family. Appreciate it. But yeah, and myself, I'm not doing nothing. I'm COVID is kind of easing up a little bit, so I'm back at work now. Still doing recruiting and stuff for college and stuff. So my life is starting to kind of roll a little bit. So I'm excited. I'm excited for sure.
And as for me, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at The Senator. Don't forget to check out the Not So Soft podcast with myself, Kino, and Nino. Don't forget to check out Talks with the Chatterbox, which came out last week featuring the Not So Soft podcast. It was It was something. I will say that. I don't know how we managed to fit all the topics in the time that we had, but we managed to do it and still had some wild takes on it.
Definitely.
Don't forget to check out my Twitch page, twitch.tv/itsthesenator. And don't forget to follow our Instagram page at the.chatroompod. If you like our takes, if you want to email us, if you want to be a guest on our podcast, don't forget to email us at thechatroompod@gmail.com. Also, I just want to send a special shout out there's a singer in Toronto called Kennedy Road. Put out a really dope EP last year. I got to listen to it this week. Really dope. You should check it out. And hopefully at some point we can have her on the show.
I never heard her in my life, but Kennedy Road.
Yeah, it's a hard name.
You get ratings still.
Yeah, I seen like one music video like
I don't know who you are.
A year or two ago.
I'm sure you're a tough singer, but Kennedy Road, you get ratings.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I bumped into a single one time and I saw Kennedy Road and I was like, wait, what? Hold on.
That's the thing.
Like, when the name just hits you and you're like, all right, cool, let me check it out. So I went and checked it out and I was like, yo, this is a dope single. Then I went back and I finally got to listen to her full EP and I was like, all right, she got some talent out there. So big up to her. And this has been the Chatroom Podcast, your favorite baller's favorite podcast. And we are out.
Peace.
I went the